Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge, in the house.
What up, Doug?
Back again for another Fighter Spotlight podcast. Changing it up a little bit today. We're talking about a little bit of Jiu Jitsu with the Proving Ground Invitational that is happening June 25th at the Maverick Center. We are welcoming Katrina Dunlap, who will be competing that day. Katrina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Katrina, why don't you start with letting everybody know, how long have you trained and where do you train at?
Yeah, so I train at Cache Valley Martial Arts. I am a blue belt. It's in Logan, if you know, northern Utah.
Yep.
Cache Valley.
Yes. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about I started 4 years ago. I'm a blue belt. I did have a child a year ago, so it hasn't been 4 consistent years, but I love it. I love it so much.
Nice.
What got you into it?
You know, it's funny. I don't really know. Like, I was always interested in learning some sort of martial arts style. And I have a sister who's a cop. She's on the SWAT team at the Unified Police Department.
Nice.
Yeah, so like super killer. Anyway, I one day was talking to her and she was like, yeah, like if you want to learn something practical for smaller people, which is what I am, you should try jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So I turned to my husband one day and I was like, hey, I want to try jiu-jitsu. And he was like, okay, like have fun, thinking I tried and quit after a week. But I fell in love with it and here I am.
Nice. How many competitions have you done?
I have done 4. They were all as a white belt though.
Okay.
But yeah.
Have you ever done...
First time doing anything like tournament style, like Proving Grounds, right?
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to do one, but I was a white belt. So before COVID hit, the last tournament they did, I was a white belt and they weren't doing white belts in Proving Grounds. So I wasn't able to. And anyway, so this was the first one I'm actually able to do. And I was so excited I got in and yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
What is your go-to submission?
Oh, see, that's hard. And that's why I'm actually really nervous about this because my style is like flowy and like sweep and stuff. And I actually struggle with submissions. I know Proving Grounds is no gi. So a gi submission won't do me any good, but I love the bow and arrow choke.
You would.
Okay.
You would. Yeah. See, that, you know, when people that train in gi, you know what I call it? You call it no gi. I call it never gi. Get bow and arrow choked and stuff like that.
You're like, don't have to worry about it.
That's right. Guess what? Last competition I was in, guess how I got submitted? Bow and arrow choke. Did I see it coming? No, I did not.
There it is. Yeah. I really like arm bars, so I'm trying to work on that.
And I did a little Facebook stalking. I saw you used to train with Gustavo in Salt Lake, right?
No. I may have met him, but I haven't trained in Salt Lake, no.
Gotcha. Okay, you've always been Cache Valley. I must have looked up a different Katrina then.
That's okay.
Small world.
Yeah.
Small world. But
yeah.
Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, does your husband train as well?
No.
So you bow and arrow choke him all the time?
No. Well, okay. I don't like to roll with my husband. So he and I say this with complete love. He's a germaphobe, so he doesn't like to get personal with sweaty people, which is know all that jiu-jitsu is. And I don't like to roll with him because, and it's not necessarily a masculine thing. I feel like as a feminine person, I can't beat him up, but I don't like to. I don't feel good if I know I could take him down, and he knows that. I just don't feel good doing it. So.
I'm going to relay this podcast to my wife. I'm going to make sure she's listening to this. Yeah, she needs to listen to this.
Cool.
No, I don't know. It's funny because it is that way. Because I have a buddy and Jason knows we've been trying to get him to do jiu-jitsu forever. He's a rock climber. He's little. He's athletic. He's strong, and he's super flexible. I'm like, dude, you'd be a little monster. You'd be like a little 140-pound monster on the mat. You should do it. And he goes, yeah, the idea of just rolling around and just like rolling around with other guys just doesn't do it for me. I'm like, you're not just rolling around with other sweaty guys. You're trying to choke each other and tear limbs, and it's awesome.
Commit murder. I mean, not really, but
right?
You really are.
But putting them in a position to be like, hey, guess what? If we don't follow the tap rule, I could kill you right now, right? And, you know, and he goes, yeah, but at the end of the day, you are just rolling around with other sweaty men. And I'm like,
if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
But
there are a couple times, like, you know, if you train with someone consistently, you like start to recognize their scent. Not that it's bad, but like, I don't know about you guys, but I'll go home and I'll be like, oh, that's that person, or like,
100%, 100%.
You take off your rash guard and you're like, well, it's not me, but it
is someone. Yeah.
That's funny.
Get that, for sure. So since you don't have a bow and arrow truck, so you like arm bars.
Yeah. Well, I should say I love knee on belly, and knee on belly is a great transition. Like arm bar is a great transition from knee on belly. So
for sure.
Awesome. This is gonna be fun. You've never competed inside the cage before then?
No.
What do you think will be different about that?
I mean, obviously though, there will be walls, whereas, you know, all the other tournaments I competed in, if you go outside the barrier, the ref just stops you and moves you back to the center. I don't know. I mean, it'll be the biggest crowd I'm competing in too. So I like to think that'll energize me instead of psych me out, but I'm trying honestly not to think about it so I don't psych myself out.
Yeah. Well, and then like, have you guys like worked? I realize I haven't asked the other guests this, but have you guys like worked like takedowns off of the cage? Like with like,
no.
Coach is like Kofi, right?
Yeah.
And then Adam Easley trains at your gym, a very good MMA fighter, right? And we watched him, like, you guys like do any like wall work, like takedowns off the cage, like just an idea, like.
They probably have, and they may talk to me. So like I said, I had a baby a year ago, so my schedule is crazy. So I'm not able to be at the gym as much as I want to be. So it's very possible, you know, today when I go, they'll go over that, but we haven't yet.
It's all right.
I'm just saying, just putting it out there for everybody.
No.
Like, you guys can use the cage for takedowns, and takedowns against the cage versus like an open mat can be very different.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, and I love that idea. I mean, I'm totally going to ask about that now, so.
That's what I'm here for.
Hey, that's why we do the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Or actually, how can people purchase tickets and watch you compete on June 25th?
Oh, yes. So I believe the website is Fierce Fighting Championship. Let me double check on that.
.com. It's
it is.
Yeah.
I got it scrolling down there. I just wanted you to say it.
Yes, there it is. So
Putting you on the spot.
Scroll down. If you like this face, click on it, and I get a part of the commission of the tickets, which would help us or help any of the fighters you're going to go see. It should be awesome. I'm super scared, but that's why I'm doing it, because it scares me and I'm really excited.
That's awesome, Katrina. Cool. That really is awesome. So
thank you.
Are you going to stay and watch the fights after?
Yes, I would love to. Again, and just like I said, you know, little child, so it depends on babysitting and if we take her or not. But I would absolutely love to.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Katrina, thank you very much for joining us today. If you guys want to get tickets, fiercefightingchampionship.com. Click on Katrina's picture, support your local fighters, your jiu-jitsu players, your fighters. There's a pay-per-view link if you cannot make it down to watch it live. Click the pay-per-view link and watch it. June 25th at the Maverick Center, Proving Ground Invitationals. Katrina, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We will see you in a couple weeks.